Hello, I'm Dawni Pappas, and I'm with the Fairy Congress. And today it's my pleasure and honor to get to interview Camilla Blossom. And Camilla Blossom is a medicine woman, flower essence alchemist, and land alchemist, a soul midwife, and author of The Sacred Spirits of the Gorge, Columbia River Gorge Flower Essences, and Essences of Place. And more recently, this fabulous book, Sacred Spirits of Gaia, co creating a new earth with fairies, elementals, ancestors, and spirits of land. Camilla offers mentorship and teaches courses on flower essences and trainings for land alchemists. And the greatest gift she's giving us right now is that she'll be a presenter at the in person Fairy and Human Relations Congress this July. Um, so 2023. So thank you for being here and welcome.
Thank you so much, Donnie. I'm really excited to be here and connect with you.
Yeah. So how you doing? How's things
Good.
going? Good.
Excited for the Fairy Congress,
Oh,
as
good.
always, and for all the community there, the human and the unseen.
Yeah, it's a really so amazing to show up with our allies, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
And to
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, to be with so many people that are aligned that way, that really work with those unseen realms and seen realms, the trees and plants and animals, but
Yeah.
in that deep way is really a gift.
And for how many years you've participated in the Fairy Congress too? It keeps
Yeah,
drawing you back.
I
It's
know.
and I met you there. That's how I met
Mhm.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think I've been to about 8 of them or maybe more. Um, but yeah, there was a gap in there, 5 or 6 years where I didn't go. It's like beginning, then had a gap and then came back. And like you say, I keep getting pulled back in and um, yeah, to share with everyone and have that experience.
well, that's great. Well, I'm curious if you'd like to tell us a little bit about how Spirit called you, how you found your calling or a calling.
Yeah, it's this kind of um, yeah, I wouldn't say there's like one experience, but I think the childhood kind of experience was going to the Adirondacks, Big Moose Lake in New York State, and being in the forest. We had to take a boat across, and we'd spend time in the forest at a cabin in the woods. And even as a little kid, I would walk in the woods by myself and hang out with the moss and play with the trees and the waters. So I think that kind of experience really helped shape this love of nature. And also that when things don't always go on well with humans or in families or whatever, like that was my medicine, was my allies, my friends. So I think that was a big part of what opened me. And then it wasn't till I kind of began my healing process in my 20s, um, where my intuition opened more and my gifts and my natural or my purpose to work with them. So I'd say like the big marker for that time was when I began making flower essences. There was some things before that, and actually in my book, I kind of explain some of that or share more of that. But making the flower essences was a calling from the from Merlin and the fairy devas, um, flower devas, trees, plants, ancestors of the Columbia River Gorge. And so when I answered that call, it just felt like, whoa, that first experience of making them was just so powerful. And I could feel that, like the energy of spirit coursing through my body, like, yes, make these essences. And from there, it kind of moved me on that path of being a healer and a teacher and all the wonderful things I've gotten to work with.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful that you keep sharing. Like what you learn and how
Yeah.
you grow with your um, collaborative relationship with nature and nature's beings, the spirits of
Mhm.
nature. And so how are you going to present at the Fairy Congress this year? What is your flavor?
Up. Yeah. So this interesting thing happened with the flower essences. I had worked with it so intently, and then I had this kind of hard experience of my business being stolen. And so I had to work through that. And then I realized part of that lesson was that I needed to do much more than just work with the flowers and the essences and human things. And so that opened up this whole world. And then I went journeying on behalf of water and land. So
Mm,
that opened up all this other work. But what I'm seeing is in that work with land alchemy and clearing land and working with all these magic beings, for on behalf of water and land and Gaia, is that the flower essences are such key medicine for that.
mm,
And for us to be able to move through what we're moving through. So the flowers have come back. I've actually just put together a new course, um, on flower essence magic. And what I realize is that this wants to come forward to activate more people and for them to remember how connected we all are to flowers. Like they're the crowning achievement, the enlightenment of a plant is the flower.
mm.
And so there's this energy and this octave and this healing that comes through, whether you're sitting with them, picking them, making essences, working with the tinctures, whatever way you're working with plant medicine or journeying with those spirits and fairies. Like it's such a delight and a love of mine to do, and been doing it for so long. And when I've been sharing it with people, like yesterday, I was on the group mentorship call for my flower essence people, and they were like, whoa, like having so much fun. Like it's just such a beautiful thing for me personally to experience. And then when I see others, like whatever aspect of it, even if it's a small thing, like it just really brings a lot of healing and delight. So I'm bringing forward, it's called Remembering Flower Magic. And what I realized is that a lot of us have lineages working with this medicine, not necessarily flower essences in a bottle, but working with plants. Like, right, we're all kind of come from indigenous ancestors from some nation, continent, right, that
Right.
work with
Oh,
plants intently for our food, our medicine, whatever. So I want to work to help us, like do a ceremony of reclamation for maybe those lineages, or if it's not like in our bloodline, it might be in our soul line or a Lemurian line, or some way of helping us remember, because I think that's the stage we're in right now, is that remembering. So we're going to work with the flower fairies, fairy queen, plant spirits and devas, work with the color codes, the light codes, different flower energies, and what I think it was the Hopi, but I'm not sure. There was the use of that word, the age of flowers, which is also like the golden age I'm using for the land alchemy course. So like we're moving fast into the age of flowers and the golden age of Gaia. So I just feel like it's time for us really to claim and envision and anchor these so that that old stuff can fall more easily, because we're in this new.
mhm.
And so it just feels like at this transition time. But I was just chatting with Dawni too about the fact that sometimes when I do things at the Fairy Congress, um, the fairies will come in and say they want to do something different. So I'm kind of open. Like I feel like there might be some tree energy with the I call the Doug fir trees.
Mm,
Like, and they're wonderful for clearing energy. And they've taught me this chant. So they might come in. I've worked with a lot of trees on that land too.
yeah.
So I'm also kind of curious, like, yeah, flower magic and trees are part of that plant kingdom, right? And so I just feel like for whoever is going to come join me, like there will be a journey, ceremony, ritual, attunement for all of us, including me, that is perfect for the moment. perfect for where we're at and what's going on collectively and for the Fairy Congress group. So I'm always excited just to see, okay, I'm showing up, I'm present. What are we gonna do? Bring the drum. Right.
Yeah.
And then just but yeah, but the flower magic will definitely be part of it. Um that kind of higher octave attunement, tune in. And I always love to give people a lot of opportunity to journey for themselves, listen deeper to themselves. And I guess that message too is so important right now, like not to put to trust our guides and the beings all around us, but really it's about listening to ourselves, right? And so they're helping guide us, but they want us to come back to our own hearts, womb and hara, and know our own truth. We can't rely always on just listening outside of ourselves to all the spirits. Like, yeah, I do a lot of that, but it's really about me and listening to ourselves. So it always has that part.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like an exciting journey and process. Um, I do have this feeling that the flowers are waking us up, that power energy,
Yeah.
guide us to whatever is going to happen in your wonderful workshop. Because, yeah, you're right. We are connected, or some of us are learning how to connect. And I think remembering it's inside too is so
Yeah.
important. So let the flower fairies wake us up, bring
I
us
love that.
to
Yeah. That's
the
it.
Fairy Congress and have this experience that may include the most amazing old growth forests and
Yeah.
land, and
Yeah.
you'll be bringing in the alchemy. So part of that, right?
Yeah.
So before we end, I really want to know what excites you about the Fairy Congress. Why do you keep going back 8 times?
Yeah.
What's it so inspirational for you?
I think it's like family, like kin. There's just such a beautiful opportunity to be with very kind, gentle people that are intuitive and into the same things and exploring these and having those conversations, having those journeys together, having ceremony, having that honoring, and feeling so held in that space with all of these magical beings, these sacred spirits of Gaia. So, and I do feel, I do a lot of planetary light work healing as well, sort of on a more etheric level. And I do feel that the Fairy Congress really does hold a powerful space of healing and has for many years. And so the importance of allowing that, star to shine on the earth to help the whole, the planet and all of the beings and foster that communication. So that's really a lot of what my work is. So it's a delight to be around people that want to do that and do more of it. And yeah.
Mm. Well, we're delighted that you are delighted that you keep
Thank
coming back. And
you.
I know that from my very first Fairy Congress, I met you. I sat with you, and you definitely sparked a light in me. And I loved what you had to share with the essences. You shared essences
Oh,
then,
thank you.
and it was before the second book of the Sacred
Mhm.
Spirits of Gaia. And it was just an attunement that I needed so much. So I just want to say thank you. And I know that everyone who shows up to the Fairy Congress this time and gets to meet Camilla or gets to experience what they get to experience will be blessed in some way. So, Fairy Congress is July 20th through the 25th. We're going to be meeting in person in the beautiful old growth forest or canyon in near Salem, Oregon. Tickets are available fairycongress.com. Please find Camilla Blossom online too. Tell them where they can find you.
At my name, camillablossom.com.
Yeah. And so we thank you for listening and hope to see you at the Fairy Congress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camilla.
Thank you, Dawni. See you soon.
Yes, see you soon.